All right, welcome back. Today's going to be my overview of this 6-ARC precision rifle. I'm going to talk about kind of the philosophy behind the cartridge and this rifle itself, and then a little bit about the build of this rifle and my experience with it along the way. So what does this thing do for you as the shooter? I think that a 18-inch 6-ARC rifle is the ideal replacement for a 16-inch 308 rifle. So I see this as configured, stepping right into the same position that a M110K1 would be in. In doing that, I'm not really losing anything ballistically, and then I'm saving myself about 5.2 pounds of weight just on the weapon alone. So this rifle, same optic, laser added, no bipod, 20-round mag, is 5.2 pounds lighter than the exact same configuration in an M110K1, and that makes a big difference. I'm getting very good ballistics out of it. I'm getting really nice recoil impulse. With this rifle, no break, nothing crazy like that. I would say the recoil impulse is a little bit between a 5.56 and a 308, but closer to the 5.56 side, and that makes a difference for follow-up shots, for calling your own shots, spot and trace through the scope if you have enough distance and time. And those are all things that you want in getting a semi-automatic gun, and shooting a bigger caliber like 308 kind of starts to take away those advantages. So not to say, the K1 is the worst rifle ever or it's unshootable, nothing like that. It's just this 6R configuration is the same length. It's 5.2 pounds lighter. It's much easier to shoot, and you're really losing nothing ballistically. So this rifle in particular, I'll kind of talk to it. Top, the upper and then the lower, and kind of explain why I picked what I picked here. So on the upper side, the heart of any rifle is the barrel. This is a Centurion Arms 18-inch barrel. Very, very happy with this barrel. In the first outing, I'm shooting like a minute or better, mostly better, and that is no break-in, literally tighten down the barrel nut, put this thing together, go to the range, and first 50, 100 rounds, sub-minute groups, it shoots really, really well. I'm very, very happy with the Centurion Arms. Speaking of which, on the front, they have their own proprietary muzzle device here, which is a Stoner 63 style flash hider. The Stoner 63 is probably one of the coolest light machine guns ever, if not the coolest. So I couldn't, resist the opportunity to throw that style flash hider on the end of this gun. Why would you not? I have their bolt. So they have the option of buying a barrel with a headspace bolt. So Centurion Arms barrel, Centurion Arms bolt, Centurion Arms bolt carrier group, all working flawlessly. Really happy with that. The upper, the lower, the buffer tube, the trigger, the handguard are all Geisley. I have the Geisley Mark 1. This is the 15-inch handguard. Really like this handguard. I had this on a 16-inch 5.56 gun. And then as I was kind of building this out, I put a 13-inch handguard on that, put this on this rifle. I think kind of all flows better. I still think this is probably the most ergonomic handguard Geisley has made, aside from their 416 handguard. It does everything I need to do, and I have all the accessories I could ever need for it, to include rail sections, and I have QD points as well. So I'm going to be a Mark 1 rail guy for the conceivable future. Directly below it, this is kind of the optimum Harris bipod setup, I think. So this is the one that Badger sells. They move the buttons to the inside instead of the front. So now when you push your bipod up against a barricade, it doesn't deploy the legs. I have the LaRue quick detach, and then I have this throw lever here to adjust tension on it. So I like this bipod. It is kind of like an oldie but a goodie. I know the Atlas ones are great. A lot of guys really like them, but I'm still a Harris bipod shooter for the foreseeable future as well. As far as optic, so I have the Loophole Mark 6. This is the 3-18. It has the trimmer through reticle in it. I'm very familiar with this optic, so this is what I've gone with. Again, this is an M110K1 replacement, so it gets the exact same scope that gun had. Got the red dot on top. This is the cone precision mount. So this is that adapter, works super great. It keeps it at just the right height above the turret that I can see through, but it's not like a skyscraper. Really like that. Got the Knights bubble level. This starts to matter when you start employing this weapon system at those farther distances. If you're shooting like gas gun, 300, 500, 600, I don't really pay attention at all to the bubble level. I went with the Badger charging handle. It's a little bit bigger than the Geisley and it's rounded, and just working around larger ocular lenses, you start adding bubble level, stuff like that in the rear. It's just easier having a little bit bigger charging handle, but it's still rounded off and easy to manipulate. So that's the upper. Right? That's really like the rifle is the upper, but then the lower, Geisley buffer. I initially set this thing up with an H1 buffer. I put an H2 in, and we'll see how that works. It might help reduce a little bit of that bolt velocity. Not a big deal. B5 stock. I got the multi-tool in the pad, so that's good to have. I can always pull this thing off if I need to in the field, but why would I ever need to do that? I got the Tech 10 swinger mount, so I like to mid-mount my sling just like this, but I also have the option of going front and rear as well. And that's one of the big benefits of having QD mounts on your sling, is that you can do QD things with it. Right? You have options, and those never hurt, especially when they're slick in the rail like that. Geisley SSAE Trigger, big fan of that. It really is the easy button. I would say, guys, if you cannot wait for a sale, like, I don't know what to tell you, because Geisley has sales all the time around every major holiday and Black Friday. So, grab an SSAE for, a good price and don't look back. The grip, I actually was just talking to some guys about it because they're like, hey, what grip is on that rifle? Like, hey, this is the Sierra Precision SPR grip. I have it on all my rifles. It really is like the best grip in my opinion. I like the way it feels in my hand. I can throw my thumb up on the side like that, and it just kind of fills the hand in the same way that a double stack pistol does, which we all shoot. So I want things to feel the same throughout. I just really like that grip. HRF Concepts Magwell, and then we have this Duramag. So that's kind of like the next thing with this rifle is kind of like the system here. So Duramag 20 rounders. I bought one of their 6.5 Grendel/6 magazines to kind of try it out because I have some of the 20 rounders for 7.62x39, which is this one. Right, it has a slight curve to it, and I found that they did something with the mag body of the 6 ARC that's a little bit more resistant to kind of bulging. So I would get those instead of just shooting 7.62x39 mags. It makes everything a little bit more reliable. It feeds just fine, the 7.62x39 mag, but it starts to bulge a little bit and it's hard getting in and out of that mag well. These mags, so these are like Stone AR mags or whatever. I know that there's kind of more like this coming out, like Standard Profile, which is a different follower. The 30 round length, where's my pen? The 30 round standard length will hold 25, and the 20 round standard length will hold 15. So I've had good success with those. I'll probably keep buying them. I'm only losing a little bit of capacity, but I do like this Duramag 20 rounder, right? It isn't too crazy. And again, I get 20 rounds, which is comparable in the magazine. As far as ammo, right now I'm shooting this Hornady Black. So this is their 105 grain boat tail hollow point. It's relatively affordable. Again, start comparing this to, precision 308 ammo, precision 5.56 ammo, not, cheap blasting ammo. Again, I'm getting sub-minute groups with it. Very, very happy with the performance. And I think if you're going to invest in this caliber, when you see the ammo at a reasonable price, just bite the bullet, buy 1,000 rounds, stow it away, and just don't shoot like an idiot, and you won't have a problem with ammo in the future with this caliber. I did a 100-yard zero. So for reference, I got my dope on the stock here, a little card that I made. I'll put a picture up in this video as well. But at 1,000, I'm only getting 10.6 mils of drop with this gun, and that's pretty good, right? I can keep this thing on like 9x, 10x, and never have to put a click on the scope and still shoot out to 1,000. So pretty impressive. Very happy with it. The ammo's been consistent for me as I keep kind of shooting this and breaking this gun in. I'm keeping a data book. So I'll have every round logged, and then the first 100-round group 100-yard group, 10 rounds, I just tape that to the inside of the book, so you know kind of what the gun does. I keep that with the rifle. So overall, very, very happy with this setup. You're going to see me shooting this more in the future. You're going to see everything that happens or doesn't happen to it. And I think that this is going to be kind of like a winner going forward as far as semi-automatic, precision, but still lightweight, still manageable, still something that is not going to inhibit you going off and doing other things with in the future. There's a bunch of other videos out there about 6ARC. Some of them are really, really good. I would encourage you to watch some of those, kind of dive into why that cartridge was developed, and then hit me up with any questions you guys may have. All right, thank you.